Looks like this is officially the last iPhone I'll ever buy, because Apple just launched the iPhone 17e and the chip was developed in Israel. And from what I'm seeing, this isn't just for one model. Nope, this is for the future iPhones moving forward. Now maybe my memory is better than everyone else's, but did everyone just forget about those pagers? You know, when they did Operation Grim Beeper and they integrated explosives into pagers, they started giving them out to the public and they handed 5,000 of them to the people of Lebanon, and they just detonated all at the same time. And remember when a certain someone said that if you're holding a cell phone, you're holding a piece of Israel right there.
But do you have cell phones? You have cell phones here? No. You're holding a piece of Israel right there.
You know what, at this point, I just say we go back to regular flip phones. I've been thinking about getting a Motorola Razr. And the fact people will know this and still camp outside for the next model is just wild to me. Apple could put a warning label right on the box and people will still line up to buy it. So yeah, Apple is officially cooked.
Israeli spies were reportedly behind the synchronized explosion of hundreds of pages that left around 2,800 injured and 12 dead across Lebanon and Syria. A security source claimed the Mossad, Israel's national intelligence agency, hid explosives in 5,000 pages at production level with as little as 2 ounces of explosives inside the pages next to the lithium-ion battery, along with a remotely triggered switch. The pages received an error alert months later, and when the user pressed a button to cancel the alert, the explosives were detonated. The source claimed the pages were purchased from a Taiwanese company, Gold Apollo, who've since tried to distance themselves from production and claim the devices were actually manufactured and sold by BAC Consulting in Hungary. The CEO of BAC Consulting told Sky News, "I don't make the pages, I am just the intermediate. I think you got it wrong."
S. 3855. To enhance bilateral defense cooperation between the United States and Israel, and for other purposes. In the Senate of the United States. February 12, 2026. Mr. Budd, for himself and Mrs. Gillibrand, introduced the following bill, which was read twice and referred to the Committee on Foreign Relations. A bill, to enhance bilateral defense cooperation between the United States and Israel, and for other purposes. 1. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. 3. Section 1. Short title. 4. This act may be cited as the United States-Israel 5 Framework for Upgraded Technologies, Unified Research, 6. An Enhanced Security Futures Act of 2026. 7. SEC. 2. Sense of Congress. 8. It is the sense of Congress that bills with DSK 7x7 S144 prod on DM Wilson Verdate, the 11th of September, 24 prod on DS 7x Sets of Congress, 20 FRM, Babine 07T 017, JKT 5 /1 2 September, February 13th. 2 and 44, the 11th 24 Febiem Wilson 60, 6000, F3, IVE, AXIVE, and deep cultural and technological ties, and B. Can benefit from further joint innovation and rapid technology deployment in facing common and evolving security challenges. 2. Israel is a strategic and capable ally of the United States that advances United States strategic interests, strengthens United States military capabilities, and bolsters the United States economy. 3. As a global leader and innovator in the development of defense technology, Israel is a close foreign defense partner of the United States. 4. On September 14, 2016, the United States and Israel signed a 10-year Memorandum of Understanding, reaffirming the importance of continuing annual United States military assistance to Israel and cooperative missile defense programs in a way that enhances the security and bilateral relationship between the two countries. 5. The United States-Israel Defense Partnership, through sustained joint research and development, has yielded critical advances in both countries' national security capabilities in areas such as missile. 3. 1. Defense, directed energy, counter-drone, anti-tunneling, counter-terrorism and emerging technologies. 6. To maintain Israel's qualitative military edge while deterring adversaries and ensuring mutual security, the United States and Israel must expand cooperation in emerging domains. And 7. To grow American technological supremacy, the United States must leverage the unique capabilities offered by each country and more rapidly integrate jointly developed and Israeli-origin defense technologies into United States military systems, programs of record, and the Defense Industrial Base. SCC. 3. Establishment of the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. Establishment. The Secretary of Defense, with the concurrence of the Minister of Defense of Israel, shall establish a cooperative initiative to be known as the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative to expand and accelerate bilateral defense technology research, development, testing, evaluation, integration, and industrial cooperation by bills with DSK 7 PEC 7 S144 Prod on DM Wilson Ver date the 11th of September 2014. 017 February 24, 2026 JK 069200 PO 0000000 69206 JQ /bills S3855.es S3855 1. Identifying jointly developed or Israeli-origin technologies with operational utility for integration into United States systems and programs of record. 4. 1. 2. Conducting collaborative research initiatives involving government, private sector, and academic institutions in the United States and Israel in a manner that protects sensitive technology and information and the national security interests of the United States and Israel. 3. Facilitating the transition of technologies from research and development into procurement and acquisition pathways. 4. Establishing frameworks for joint ventures, licensing agreements, and United States-based co-production or manufacturing partnerships with Israeli industry. 5. Coordinating with relevant Department of Defense components, including the Irregular Warfare Technical Support Directorate, Capability Development and Innovation Divisions, the Defense Innovation Unit, the United States-Israel Operations Technology Working Group, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the Missile Defense Agency, and United States Space Command, and the military services, to align efforts and avoid duplication. And bills with DSK 7 PEC 7 S144 Prod on DM Wilson Ver date the 11th of September 2014. 1924, February 13, 2026, JKT 069200 PO 000000 FR Evlerty 13th 2200 PO Duking 2652 6600. Promoting joint training exercises and information sharing mechanisms to enhance operational readiness to deploy jointly developed technologies. B. Initiative domains. The initiative shall be carried out through cooperative efforts in domains such as the following. 1. Counter unmanned systems including aerial, maritime, and ground platforms. 2. Anti-tunneling and subterranean threats. 3. Missile and air defense technologies, including Golden Dome for America. 4. Artificial intelligence, quantum, machine learning, and autonomous systems. Bills with DSK 7x7S144 Prod on DM Wilson Ver date the 11th of September 2014. 1924, February 13, 2026, JKT 069200 PO 000000 FRM, February 13, 2026, 201, FMT, SFMT Energy and Advanced Sensing. 6. Cyber defense, electronic warfare, and digital resilience. 7. Biotechnology, biomanufacturing, and medical defense. 8. Network integration, data fusion, and contested logistics. 9. Defense industrial base cooperation, manufacturing, and co-production. 10. Other emerging technologies as jointly agreed by the United States and Israel. 6. C. Activities in coordination with other federal departments and agencies. The Secretary of Defense shall coordinate activities under the initiative with the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Commerce, and the heads of other relevant federal departments and agencies to ensure consistency with existing laws and regulations. SEC. 4. Reporting. A. Interim progress update. Not later than 180 days after the date of enactment of this act. The Secretary of Defense shall provide to the Congressional Defense Committees an interim briefing or written update describing bills with DSK 7 PEC 7S 144 prod on DM Wilson ver date, the 11th of September 2014. 1924, February 13, 2026, JKT 200 PO, 1924, CKT 2200, SSM 6th FMT, SRM. 1. Initiative, 2, with Israeli counterparts, identified for accelerated cooperation and technologies with operational utility for integration into United States systems and programs of record. 4. Department of Defense components designated to lead implementation. And 5. Any early transition, prototyping, or integration activities initiated during the period covered by the update. 7. B. Annual report, not later than 1 year after the date of enactment of this act, and annually thereafter, the Secretary of Defense shall submit to the Congressional Defense Committees a report on implementation of the program established under this section. Each such report shall include 1. A description of activities conducted under the program, 2. An assessment of progress made in advancing shared national security interests. Bills with DSK 7 PEC 7S 144 prod on DM Wilson ver date, the 11th of September 2014. 1924 February 13, 2026. 1924 200 Pu 0 26 069,201 6,600. An assessment of the program's collaborams, including the United States-Israel Operations Technology Working Group and United States-Israel Cooperative Programs, run by the Capability Development and Innovation Division and the Irregular Warfare Technical Support Directorate. 4. A description of technologies transitioned into United States acquisition programs or fielded systems. 5. A description of partnerships established with United States and Israeli industry. And 6. Recommendations for future priorities and assessment of resource needs, including further authorities necessary to promote the long-term integra. 8. 1. Tion of joint capabilities between the United States and Israel. C. Form. Each report required under subsection B shall be submitted in unclassified form, but may include a classified annex. D. Public transparency. The Secretary of Defense shall make available on a publicly accessible website of the Department of Defense periodic, unclassified updates, to the maximum extent practicable, on activities conducted under the initiative, including a description of how these activities contribute to American technological and military supremacy. Such updates shall be made in a manner that ensures that classified information or other information that would compromise operational security, export controls, or sensitive technology are not released. E. Congressional Defense Committees defined. In this act, the term Congressional Defense Committees means the Committees on Appropriations and Armed Services of the Senate and the House of Representatives. SEC. 5. Authorization of appropriations. There is authorized to be appropriated $150 million for each of fiscal years 2027 through 2029 to carry out this act.
In news you might have missed, because I certainly did, Apple has cut a deal with its developers in Israel, and the iPhone 17e will now have a chip that they've developed. They're also working on a brand new chip to speed up your Wi-Fi and work with AI. The same country that did the Lebanon pager bombing, which injured 3,000 and killed a few children, is now putting a chip in your phone. That's fun.
So let me get this straight. The president of Israel on ABC Live stated, if we don't help Israel, if the U.S. doesn't help Israel that there could be an attack on New York City. Did y'all, I know I'm not the only one who's just seen that. The Israeli president said there's going to be an attack on New York if we don't help them. I don't even know where this world's going to. What's happening in America? Who are we backing now? I know everybody's got some mixed emotions on that. Let me know.